Welcome back to Passionately Catholic. So our topic for today is how to become a millionaire. Now, some people think, oh, $1 million, that's so much money, I'll never have that kind of money. Okay, here's the reality. Okay, it is actually not that hard to become a millionaire. And when you look to the future and how much money you'll need in retirement and to provide for yourself, especially with inflation, it's going to be a pretty sizable amount of money. And even today, there are millionaires, next door. There are millionaires nearby, and a lot of them, people that you wouldn't even expect. Why? Because they're smart with their money. They don't spend more than what they have. They save really well. Certainly they're making contributions to the lives of others, at least in many cases. Like, you can't say that's true for everybody, but it is not only possible, it is necessary even for all of us to be good stewards of the wealth and the resources that God has blessed us with, to take care of the others who need it, but also to prepare well for our future. So what I want to take a look at with you today is how can I become a millionaire? How can I save well for my future? So what we're going to take a look at in here is we're actually popping on to DaveRamsey.com, and we're using their investment and retirement calculator. So special thanks to Dave Ramsey for this. Now, I'm not getting paid anything for this. There's no, this is not an ad. Okay, I just happen to enjoy several things that come out of Dave Ramsey, and I find this calculator actually to be fairly user-friendly, and it's simple enough that it can illustrate my point here that I want to share with you on how to grow wealth, how compound interest works. So let's imagine that we're going to start, nearly out of college. We'll say that we're 25 years old. The age that we plan to retire, let's just leave 67. But in reality, it's probably going to be higher. My Social Security age is 67 when I can get full benefits at this point. So, that very well, let's just say 70, because, by then, it very well may be 70 years old before they can get full benefits. So let's say, all right, if you're 25 now, it could be 70, who knows? But let's be conservative on this, because we don't want to go too far in another direction. Let's say that you're just starting in a new job, and so often young people start off in a new job and they are really making decent money, finally making some decent money starting off, okay? And there's so many easy ways to blow it. Like, you can throw it into getting a nice car right out of college, and some people they get used to the way that their parents are living, but their parents are in their 40s or 50s or 60s, and their parents have been saving, hopefully, for a number of years, or maybe their parents haven't. Maybe their parents have been buying a lot of things, and they have, a really nice house, nice car, whatever, and maybe they have a lot of things that they can't afford. And then these college kids, they get out of college, they start their first job, and they feel like they need to have some of the things that they got used to when they recently left the house. But that's just not true, and that's not a good idea at all, okay? But if you can take 10 grand and have that, maybe you graduate from college at 22 or 23, so you got a couple years to build up this 10 grand, okay? So we're going to start with this 10 grand. And then we're going to say, how much will you contribute monthly? So, if the average household income in America is, somewhere around, $63,000 to $67,000, $68,000 a year, let's say that this is a single person, and let's say, a few years out of college, let's say that they're making 40 grand. Okay, so if we've got 40 grand a year, and we're going to divide that by 12 months, okay? So we get $3,333 per month, and we're going to multiply that by 0.15. Okay, so we're going to save 15% of our income. That's $500 a month. Okay, so that's what we're going to keep contributing monthly, $500. What do we think that the annual return will be? Now, there's a whole variety of things on here, and you really need to talk to an investment professional getting into this process, and finding somebody who's really great about that. Maybe in the future I can do a video on picking retirement professionals and what I've learned, or investment professionals and what I've learned in that process, because there's a lot that can save money, a lot of money in the long term. So let's say 8%, okay? On the low end, you can, if you've got a long time to invest, you really need to be investing, a bit, I'm not saying ultra high risk, but there are ways to mitigate risk, that 8% is reasonable, okay? So let's take a look at this to illustrate our point. So look at this. Oh my goodness, we almost hit, hang on. I just want to put that over the top. 0.8, 0.01. There, calculate, go. Okay, good. We made it over 3 million. So look at that. In 45 years, your investment could be worth $3 million. Okay, now this is also important because, I mean, when inflation kicks in, it's going to make that worth a lot less. Okay, maybe that'll be worth the equivalent of $1 million today, or a little bit more than $1 million today. You know, I don't know exactly. Who knows? You know, we'll see what inflation actually does. But you know, this begins to illustrate the point. Okay, if you're 25 years old, you got 10 grand. You know, you can do that reasonably by saving 15% of your income. Okay, and you're going to make more. You're going to make more as you get older. So the older you get, you know, put more and more and more into your savings, or into your retirement, right? If you keep it at 15% as you continue to make more money, rather than saying, oh, I'm making more money, I got a raise, you know, let's buy a bigger house, or make sure that you're staying with at least that 15% of your income, that you continue to put that into your retirement funds. Now let's do a comparison. Okay, let's say somebody's getting started later and they're going to start when they're 45. Okay, now everybody who looks at investing always wishes that they would have started earlier and they would have started putting more money away quicker, because the more money you put away quicker. Well, let's illustrate that point real quick. Okay, let's say we're 25 again, but let's say instead, let's say you start with 20 grand. Okay, you're able to save up a lot more. Look what happens to this $3 million. Okay, oh, that didn't do as much as I was really hoping that it would do. Okay, so fine, that didn't help that much actually. So let's just go back to 10 grand. Okay, and let's say that your monthly contribution, let's just increase it $100. Okay, let's say we go $600 and we stick with that. Okay, well that's better. Okay, that's $3.5 million instead of just $3 million. Okay, that's a pretty nice contribution shift. All right. So let's make our change here in terms of the age. All right, so let's go 45 years old and say we're planning to retire at 70, and how much have you saved for retirement? You know, at this, let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Let's do 50 grand. At this point, okay, that they've been saving some over the last 40 years, okay? But I mean, look at this, right? This person who starts at age 25, you know, they're gonna hit their $1 million year here, and then this is where the compound interest really starts taking off, okay, and gets them up to $3 million. The compound interest, the more time it has, the more it can continue compounding and doing better and better and better. All right, so how much are these guys gonna contribute monthly? Let's say they can even contribute more, okay? Let's say $1,200 a month that they're contributing, okay? Same return rate. But I'll tell you what, the older that you get, as you're getting closer to retirement, sometimes you don't want a return rate. You don't want to be quite as risky, okay? So let's try that out. I mean, look at this. This is half. Okay, this is $1.5 million, and they've got 50K, right? And they're contributing a lot more. Let's say they contribute 3 times as much. They're contributing $1,500 a month. They're still not even to $2 million, and the 25-year-old was able to hit $3 million, contributing a lot less. Okay, so hopefully this really illustrates the point. The point that I'm trying to make is start as young as you possibly can and save as much as you possibly can. There's really no point in keeping up with the Joneses, if you will, and trying to impress other people, you know, with your money. You know, live simple early on. Okay, when you're 22, live like you're 22. Okay, when you're 30, you know, you're going to have expenses. You're going to have kids and stuff like that to take care of. But if you don't have a ridiculously high-paying job, you know, you save really, really well. If you have a ridiculously high-paying job, then save even more. Like, you can save incredibly, and you could retire way early. Okay, say that you start at 25, okay, and you want to retire at, let's say 40, okay, and how much have you saved for retirement? Let's say that you've already saved, you know, 50 grand, okay, and how much are you going to contribute monthly? Let's say that you're making really, really great money, okay, let's say you're making, say, I don't know, 25 is too early, let's do 30. Say you're 30 years old, you want to retire when you're 45, so you got 15 years to play with this, okay, let's just do 50. I want to give it 20 years. Okay, because compound interest needs a little bit of time. How much do you already have saved by age 30? If you're making great money, okay, let's say you got 100 grand saved up already. You should be. And then let's take a look at our calculator. Okay, so what are we going to do with this puppy? Let's say this person's making $160,000 a year. And we're going to multiply that by, you know, shoot, if you're making that kind of money and you're living simply, you can save just a ton. Okay, so let's say you're 30%. Okay. you're gonna save 30%. So that's 48 grand a year, which leaves you that still leaves you with 6 figures to live off of per year. Okay, so 48 grand a year, we're gonna divide that by 12 to give us our monthly contribution. So 4 grand monthly contribution, 8% rate. Look at that, you can hit 3 million in that amount of time, boom. Okay, and if you're used to living simple, look at that, you can retire 20 years early if you get a really nice high-paying job. So hopefully what we're trying to illustrate with this point, and hopefully this comes across pretty well, is how powerful investing can be, and saving early and saving as much as you can. Because I mean, if you just want to enjoy life and blow money on, you know, the house and the car and clothes and, you know, whatever, and looking good, you can do that if you want, but it's going to cause you pain later. The more that you save early, save now, and plan well for your retirement. The best day to start planning for retirement was years ago, okay? The second best time is right now. Definitely not tomorrow. This is like the worst thing that we can procrastinate on. So save early, save well, prepare well, and reduce the stresses that you have later in life. So, I mean, as you can see, it's definitely most important to start as early as possible, because you can start with less early on, and the more that you can save and put into preparing yourself for your future and to saving well, the more you can do that and as early as possible, the more it's going to help out later and later and later. Because compound interest, the way that this works is you save, you get a return on your investment, that you reinvest, you keep reinvesting all that, you don't take anything out. I mean, this is part of what preparing for retirement is all about. You let that just grow and grow and grow. I have a friend who told me that Einstein once said that the 8th wonder of the world is compound interest, because it is absolutely so powerful. So this is something that you deserve to know about, for your future and for what you want to leave behind, and making a bigger contribution on the lives of people around you. And I'm firmly convinced that this can have a very positive impact on our relationships, marriages. So many marriages are struggling due to financial struggles and disagreements. You know, when we can get on the same page as married people in terms of our finances and how we're going to do this, and have a goal in mind that we want to achieve together, and find practical ways to achieve that goal, I think everybody will be better off. May God bless you abundantly. I look forward to being in touch very soon. And if this video was useful, please like and subscribe and share and comment below. And I'll be in touch again very soon.